Well, Bill made it. So I didn't even do the countdown right. It was halfway through before I realized I wasn't on live. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here. It's not a warm day here in Cleveland, Ohio. It's perfect chameleon weather. It's 7 degrees, a light fog.
What?
It's awesome.
Oh,
It's
man.
really good. So, but anyways, it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. East here in Daylight Savings Time, which I don't know how we're saving it because I really need it in the winter, not tonight. But
That's right. It's like solar energy.
5 p.m. on the there's no battery for daylight.
Yeah.
It's 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and we are live, I think. Welcome, adventures. I'm your guide, Sean McZoo, and this is the Reptile Show reporter. As usual, Bill Strand, the headmaster of the Community Academy, is my co-host. And tonight, I am messing up my script and everything. Tonight, we're talking about outdoor reptile keeping in the heat. We don't have any heat here, but all right. But let's play the music and get started. All right, we'll move that out of the way there. Put us back on stage. Stephanie Payne is the first person in the chat. What the heck happened in this backwards world? Wow. Stephanie, James, and Nate. That's what we'll do. Here we go. Let's see. Stephanie. There she is with her horse. And James Cross. The DIY chameleon guy. Where is he at here? There he is. Looking stately there with his John Deere hat. And who did I say was the last one? Here still. Oh, Nate. Nate, he's my fellow Ohioan. Hopefully he's gotten up here and got some of those plants because I didn't really get into the plant place recently. So there we go. There's Nate. All right, everyone. Welcome. And to Turtle Tom. He's here to cause trouble. I should have invited him. Where's this at? All right. Tom.
You want to talk about heat? Bring James on.
That's the other person I was thinking. I should bring James on. He's getting really hot.
Oh, he's here. We ought to bring him on and ask him how hot it is.
James, should I bring you on live? Let me know. I'll send you an invite.
Yeah, we'll see. He may be sitting in a dark room in his underwear. So, who knows? At 108 degrees.
Well, we don't really want to picture that, Bill, but thanks for that.
I
went to a friend. My friend was in the hospital today, and I went there at lunch and went to see him. And, that reminds me of that today. So,
James says bring him on. So, yeah, send him a link. Let's talk to James.
Okay. All right. You talk, Bill, and I'm going to send an invite.
All right. So what we're talking about today is we are coming into summer. And if you're looking at the
wait a minute. We need to stop. We got to go thing in order. I'm OCD, So we did the video. We did the chat. How was your Independence Day, Bill? That was last week, but it was the day after.
It was a complete war zone out here. I mean, they don't allow fireworks in my particular city, but the nearby city. It's funny because there's one street that separates my city from the neighboring city, and on one side of the street, it's like they've got a complete arsenal, and on the other side of the street, nothing. And so you just walk down the street, and it's crazy, but those explosions were going on all night. Oh, and it was just constant.
Yes, my two dogs, the one dog lady, the female, the black and white one, doesn't really notice anything. She's oblivious of the fireworks. She doesn't care. Ghost, if he thinks it's a firework, he freaks out. So I'm sending you, James, a link to get on if anything will get up here. We'll send you in Facebook. I'll send you a link here. I guess that's where I sent it to you last time. Let's see. Paste. And make sure that you're fully dressed, James, or don't turn on your camera. We'll just warn about that. All right. Bill, are you still there? All right. You're still there?
Here.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So I sent you the link, James. Any announcements, Bill?
Nothing other than I'm just trying to work with this heat. I got nothing like James does, but I'm still working with it. And other than that, no.
We've been in the high 80s and even 90 and lots of heat the last few days, but I just took the dogs for a walk and they didn't even want to go out because it was chilly and rainy and they wanted to be dried off when they got in. So it's a really screwball thing. But Ghost was really frightened by fireworks all night long, and it was the Ohio allows you to use fireworks only for a few days around the holidays and like 48 hours around the holidays. So we had 4 days of fireworks everywhere, and even though it was raining some places, so it was kind of an exciting thing. Okay, so what else? Podcast 24 is live, as I said last week. Oh, okay. I do have a little bit of sad news, at least from my perspective. I lost Star-Lord today. My
Oh no,
quadricornis graciller. I've had him for like 7 years. He was he fell and broke his horns almost a year ago, and the doc fixed him up and everything was looking good. And he just, the last couple weeks, he just started, I don't know, to look bad. And it was just aging stuff. So let's do a few pictures of him so everyone can know what I'm talking about. This is a picture of him there sitting on the bottom of his cage, looking like he's posing for someone when the cage bottom was perfectly good. And there he is in another angle. This is with all his horns. This is when he was angry. He got to be so colorful. And this is a close-up of just showing his colors. This is the other angle of his four horns you can see. And I have like hundreds of pictures of him. So I might commission an art piece to have, I don't know what I would have them, which picture I'd have them paint off of it, because I do have, that's one thing I'm going to be doing this weekend. On Saturday, I'm going to be heading out to the regular Michigan Reptile Show in Taylor, Michigan, to pick up a piece of art, the 4 foot by 3 foot, I think it's 4 by 3, maybe it's 3 by 4 by 5 piece of art that I actually commissioned that has a whole bunch of awesome reptiles on it and an elephant. And I'll show you it next week. So we'll have time. That was art by Michelle actually did this for me. She's one of the people I've had on the podcast before, and I commissioned her to do this art. So it's really going to be neat. All right. Adding James to the stage. James.
Oh, man, you got to slow down when you bring me on, Sean. You almost knocked me over.
All right.
That's right.
There we go. All right. Let me see what else I had to say today. Anything I have to say? No, that's it. All right. So, Bill, you guys are talking about warmth.
Yeah, we're talking about what you do, because especially chameleon people, we like to use outdoor keeping. And I know any reptile person, it would benefit any reptile. So, but it just seems like us chameleon people, we embrace it a whole lot more than others do. So this, that was why I was thinking it'd be good to bring James on, because even though I'm dealing with hot weather, he's dealing with hellish weather.
Yeah, we're pretty extreme here. 115, 120 last week.
Mastics would love that. Maybe
125 in the garage when we were filming. What wasn't it, Bill? 125.
Yes, 127. It got down to 125.
Yeah.
Wow.
I powered through it, but man, that sucked. Yeah, with this kind of heat, I don't even put the chameleons out. I'll do it on Saturday for a couple hours in the morning, but as soon as it breaks about 80, 90 degrees, they come inside. The Panther can handle it pretty good. He's got plenty of places to hide. And of course, I've followed some of Bill's ideas, and I really heavily planted all my enclosures. And then I added a misting system to the top of it. So it gives them a cool buffer at the bottom. Total Chameleon Academy, I rip off. I totally stole that, but it works awesome.
I think Bill lives by the case method. It's copy and steal everything.
Yeah.
So I think that we're all about that. It's funny because Case is a local university, and the head of the Duke primary care and urgent cares used to say that we do the case method. We copy and steal everything. And I'm like, wait a minute. But that was what we allowed. So there you go. Anyways, that's where I came up with that. So what do you do if you don't have a heat-loving reptile from the desert? What do? You just bring them in?
Yeah, you have to. It this kind of extreme heat, there's just no way around it. They hate me right now because there's 2 times a year that they can't be outside, the middle of winter and the middle of summer. Spring and fall are really awesome. They all get to go out, and you know, I really can see a big difference in my animals. So like Bill was saying, it's so incredible to put your chameleons outside when the conditions are right. I mean, there's just nothing more awesome. And to watch them, they literally flourish. They become different animals.
Yeah.
Inside, they're just kind of stuck in a corner and you know, barely. I mean, I can go to work for 3 days and my female Parsons, she'll be in the exact same spot when I get home. You know, you put her outside, she's all over the cage. You know,
there's something about the natural sun, the breezes. It's just a different situation. And if you give them a heavily planted enclosure, and especially if you put in a misting system, they can handle temperatures outside that it would kill them if they were indoors.
Yeah, I can let them get down to almost 90 degrees. I mean, up to almost 90 degrees when I have that misting system running. Here, let me walk outside real quick. Careful, I might get a flash burn as I open up the door.
Wow. So yeah, it doesn't get that hot here in the summer.
Oh, it gets stupid hot.
Here.
I call it stupid hot. You see how
I have doors to the outside of my reptile room, and I open them. I open the big sliding door. They get natural sunlight and everything. But
see, it's so thick at the bottom, you can't even hardly see in there. You know, and then the top's open. And then, of course, I got my misting system up here. So they can get pretty deep in there. Plus, I've got it heavily planted and a lot of soil in the bottom that retains all that moisture. So it works really well up to about 90 degrees. But even at that, with the Parsons, I like to move them inside.
Like you like to call those microenvironments. When I was on my way to Las Vegas, I stopped in several spots that were very hot, and it was the desert, but you could find a spot where it was really cooler. You know, you're under a tree, under some other microclimate. There was even snow at some point. No, it was a little higher up, but the snow had melted, but it was 60 degrees out, so it was really weird. But anyways, those microenvironments are so interesting. So
yeah, you know, the desert here, there's a spot where you can literally, in the desert, it's and I think it's Mojave Hot Springs, where you can literally walk up to the Continental Divide, or is it the Continental Divide? Rocky Mountains. Anyway, you can walk up to it and you can look up at the top of it. You can see snow on top of the mountain, and you can see a waterfall coming down about halfway. And that water actually hits the desert floor, but then it evaporates. It's pretty cool. I remember going there when I was a kid.
That would be cool.
So
that would probably be near the Continental Divide because of the way the water runs.
The water dripping down and disappearing on the desert floor.
Wow, that would be awesome to see. I did notice the Continental Divide each time I drove by, but you know, the place where it's the top spot where all the water comes from. But
yeah,
it's neat. So if some of us who don't know what that might be. All right. So Bill, what else do we do to keep them cool, or what do we have to do?
Well, I think a huge benefit of keeping them outside and experiencing this is you start learning about gradients. And we talk about gradients a lot, and it's kind of a concept. And then we kind of indoors, we kind of make gradients and say, yeah, we've got gradients. But when you're outside and doing this outside, it does become life and death, but it becomes real because you can put your hand up at the top of the cage where it's open. And I mean, you feel the sun blasting on your hand, but then when you put your hand down at the bottom of the cage, just above the soil level, underneath all of the dense foliage, it's like, wow, it's nice and comfortable in there. And so you really get an education into what a gradient really is.
Yeah, I've also noticed too that in that bottom spot, if you have a misting system going and there's a breeze, you get that swamp cooler effect.
Yeah,
right.
it's
So the breeze, it's kind of like me. I get cooled off at work after I start sweating when the wind blows. You know what I mean? But it's something about the air movement over the top of water will actually bring something down 10, 15 degrees. We have fair up here, and every year it's at the peak of summer. So, you could be seeing temperatures 115, 120 degrees. And throughout the whole fair, they got these misting systems all over the place. And you want to get cool, you just walk into one of these covered patios with the misters on, and it's literally 20 degrees cooler in there. It may be in your mind, but it really does feel a lot cooler.
No, it actually does feel a lot cooler in your body. That's the way to get your body cooler. So,
Yeah.
if you came into an ER, well, of course they put IVs in they were cold, but they would start with misting you and what have you. So,
yeah, it was really dramatic in Madagascar, walking through an area, and it's in the 90s, both temperature and humidity. And this is sweltering, it's uncomfortable, and you walk inside the forest where the Parsons chameleon is, and it's like the temperature just slams down. And it's like, oh, this is nice and comfortable. All right.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Oh,
Bill.
yes. You are going to experience that.
You don't even know. My life is almost over until I get back from that trip.
But this is the embodiment of, this is why taking temperature data from a weather station
doesn't help.
Doesn't help and is actually damaging, because that's not what the chameleons are experiencing.
I can, even here when it's hot out, I've got woods behind me, a full forest woods behind me, and I can walk in my front yard through the sun on the pavement all the way to the backyard in the woods in the mud and feel a 20 or 25 degree temperature gradient. So it's really neat, but I don't have those kind of temperatures here. It doesn't ever get over. Well, let me just knock on wood, because now that I've said it, it doesn't usually get over 100 here. It's hot, but it's also very muggy here. So the humidity is always 40 to 50, 60%. So
yeah, that's what we don't have. I mean, it is literally, let me see what our humidity is right now.
It's like -10.
It's not that bad.
Now,
in
Bill,
fact, sometimes I think it lies to me because
cannot go below 0.
Yeah, but you've not experienced James's weather.
Yeah. Let's see. Feels like 96. That's a lie. Feels like 110.
I just did a filming a video with James when it was 127, and boy, that poor guy.
So I'm at 12% humidity right now.
Wow. Okay.
So
I'm at 100% outside because it's drizzling, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
in here. It's probably 70.
I was sitting in that garage going, man, what the heck was I thinking? I think I pulled it off though. I watched the first part of it this morning, and I couldn't tell I was hot. I sure knew I was.
Oh yeah, but that was the first one we did.
Yeah.
The one that's being released next week, that's your 127.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It all feels like one big week to me.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, so Stephanie's saying she used to be part of a I don't know if she wants to tell everyone that she used to be in the carnival. So
I want to hear those stories. Bring her on.
And the tent. And Jersey has stupid humidity in the summer. It's 80%. So yeah, that's really high. That's you get 80%, 85 degrees and 80% humidity. That's a bad day there. So you can get 110 and whatever if you don't have humidity, but that's a little bit different. But okay. Let's see. What other animals could you have? I mean, what animals do you recommend that you keep in the desert or the hot areas?
You should get Uromastyx.
Uromastyx.
Yeah. Fence swifts, rattlesnakes, gopher snakes. What else?
I can't have rattlesnakes here, but I can have them over. My partners in Pennsylvania can have them over there. my buds
Tom
next door. So.
Cicadas. My cicadas are out in the heat right now, and they're hanging out in the sun.
Really?
Jeez.
My big old tortoises, yeah, they're mowing down cactus right now. I've got a ton of cactus in there for them to eat on.
Tegus probably could be out in the summer, yes, but they're not as hot. They don't get 110 where they're at. They're from a little bit more rainforest type area. But Tom, what do you think? Tortoises out in the summer? Are you still there, Tom? You're always there to answer something, so he probably left. Got bored with our talking chameleons.
I mean, even our squirrels out here, they live underground. They come out, they grab some food and run back in the hole.
Listen, we're done with this.
They're too busy to poop on Bill? Holy mackerel.
These are ground squirrels.
Wow, that's really warm. That's too hot. If they can't pester Bill, that's way too hot. That's
well, let's ask James, what's your strategy? Obviously, you have an outdoor situation and an indoor situation. Do you have two separate setups for each chameleon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I have. They all have their own cages, completely separate. They literally will go into those. It's not like a mixed cages up. They have their own homes. So yeah, I have a full setups inside the man cave, and then I have the ones that are outside. So what happens is, I have a great wife just like you do, Bill. So my wife, when she's
wait a minute, my wife is great too. Don't
I
like
didn't say that. I didn't say that. I was just making a point here. Oh man, now I feel guilty.
I tell you.
She doesn't come on the live, so I haven't learned her name yet. Okay.
So. All right, so there you go.
Anyway, yeah. So on the weekends, it's James. I take care of the chameleons. I take them in, put them out. We'll usually bring them out. First light of the morning. As soon as the sun's hitting the cages, I like to get them in there, stick them right in the sun, and they'll bask to an extent. I mean, that Parsons do. And then on a hot day, they may only make it till 10 or 11 o'clock, and I'll bring them back in. But most days in the spring and fall, they get to stay out all day. I bring them in at night. Our temperatures are really crazy. So if it's perfect temperatures during the day, it's going to be in the low 40s at night. In the summertime, if it's 115 during the day, then the outside temperature never gets below 70.
Doing? He's pouring out of a 5-gallon bucket.
That's all I got.
I'm just lucky he isn't pouring into a 1-gallon bucket to drink from. So
wait a minute. Are you using your extra water there, Bill, from under the cage?
No, this is good water. Yeah, I thought it would be too distracting if I actually just drank from the 5-gallon. So luckily I have one of these.
I'm just too distractible today. So there you go.
He's getting even for all the distractions I do to him. All right.
This is one of those shows where we just kind of casual. We're just kind of having fun.
Yeah. So that's what I do is I bring him out in the morning and bring him in the evening.
So yeah, I built, even though Bill warned me, I built a whole basement, 20, 30 cages that are mobile. And they're not just mobile, but they fit out the door to go outside. And I hung the lights so they would stay above and I could move them. I didn't do anything with the misters because you have to unhook or hook those together. It's a lot easier to do that. And I realized actually it's just one of the wings that I did that way. That one I think it might be 20 cages, but it's one side, one wall. It's perfect, but I never take them outside because it's just you need different stuff outside. So yeah. I'm like, I built cages outside for them. So that's, it's one of those. Why did I spend so much time designing them perfectly?
You got to do it so you can learn.
Yeah,
there you go. It's the only way I can learn because I'm not a teachable person, apparently. Bill keeps telling me stuff, and I keep saying, "Nah, I'm different than Bill. I can do it better." And even James doesn't do it better. He's got more building experience than the two of us combined, which Bill is not much, but still.
This is true.
That's why I have cages inside and outside. I wasn't about to be rolling things around.
No, but everybody, you can't, because your plants grow to the amount of light. And so the leaves are different.
Yeah.
If they grow inside or outside, the leaves are different. And if you switch them, the leaf either can't handle the sunlight or else it's not able to function and bring in enough light indoors, because I mean, the leaf literally changes depending upon what conditions it grows in, and plants can't just switch like that.
Yeah, you'll shock the crap out of them and all the leaves will fall off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with ficuses, I used to like. Oh. I don't like them anymore. Ficuses are a disaster. They're really good for little babies because their branches are really small and they can hang on to them and do everything. Now that if they break and they get the sticky stuff on them, that's not good. But I really love ficuses, but then you just can't get them the right size and they grow too big. And I don't know. Anyway,
I don't like ficuses.
I know. I love ficuses. I have them in every single enclosure. I really don't have a problem with them. I stay on top of them. They do smash the lid, but I just cut them back. You know, they'll grow. They're literally, I got one in one of these cages where the leaves are pushed so hard up against the top of it that it's almost made a mat. But I'll go in there and just trim it back. I have a harder time with them outside than I do inside.
Yeah, I got several ficuses that I put the Arcadia light bulb above it, the Arcadia super strong bulb, whatever it is. And yeah, it just grows. The whole top of the cage gets filled. I have to cut off parts of it. And I could, I wish they were like other plants that you can actually get those in water, but it's so much more challenging than other plants. Yeah. And so I just end up throwing that stuff away, and then the bottom grows. So I have to cut half of it off and leave half of it there so they have something, but it grows like weeds there. But yeah. But anyways, all right, let's celebrate the last two people who came in. Liza's here.
What? I didn't even see her sneak in.
Yeah, she snuck in. And Annette snuck in.
Hi, Annette.
Hello, Annette. Hello, Eliza.
And let's see. Plants rock. Two Turtle Tom didn't tell us anything about keeping tortoises in the outdoors, sulcatas or what have you, but he did say plants rock. So, but he is a botanist. So, or I don't know exactly what his title is. He's the curator of all things living for two different botany type things, the Arboretum and the thing downtown. So it's yeah.
Oh, he said he had to break away.
Yeah, all right. So there he goes. He's not doing a show tomorrow. He's breaking away from our show. He's just getting lazy.
These guys that go on vacation and stuff, man, they really piss me off.
When you get to a certain level of fame, you start becoming a diva.
I know.
There you go. And Two Turtle Tom is at that diva level, I think.
Yeah, he's at that diva level.
I've seen him rocking the bikini life vest on the lake. So yeah, you're right. He's diving out.
Yeah. Okay. We're working on getting there.
Tom, what the hell are you doing with us? It's your wife's birthday. Happy wife, happy life, man. We were just talking about positives about our wives, and you're celebrating her birthday being here. And curator of all of living collections. So that's what it is, but that's his title. But why is he here? Get back. All right. So all right, we're about to strike 30 minutes. So
and it's hot.
It's hot here. It's cool.
What? It is hot.
70 degrees. Little bit of fine rain.
What the heck?
Going down. It's a beautiful day. Chameleons would be loving being outdoors right now.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to spray them down for the 5th time today.
There
right? Hey, Bill, stand up. I want to see that shirt.
All right. So happy birthday to Tom's wife. Let's see. The party's over. He said, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Lots of people keep tortoise and tortoise outside during the summer. It's really, really common. But are they keeping them outside in the summer where James is at, where it's 115 in the shade? Or is it just like in Cleveland where it's, it's 95, 100 max there?
Well, we have the box tortoise, each.
That's a great idea. I don't need any more tortoises because I have 11 redfoots, but and at least 7 eggs. So we'll see what happens with that. I haven't candled any of them yet because I'm not I'm not ready to face the music of how many of those are actual redfoot tortoises that are coming for me. So anyways, let's see. Yes, 100%.
Yes. You got to be careful.
Very, very concerned about that.
Yes.
Even
is that why you take yours inside, James, or is that because it gets so cold?
I think it's the cold mostly, but nighttime. Well, we have raccoons. We also have. I think it's birds of prey are my biggest problem. Really, I don't think that they can get into the cages, but I think they could harass them. Does that make sense?
Like 1/4-inch hardware cloth?
I do.
Yeah, birds can get their beaks through that.
Yeah.
And I've actually had a chameleon lose a leg.
Okay, I've thought of that. We have these red-headed woodpeckers, and I will tell you what, their beaks are probably 2 inches long, and I always see them hovering the cages.
Interesting. Do you think they would bother a chameleon?
I know that they eat a lot of insects.
Okay.
What is it that you're talking about? I lost those with the comments.
Red-headed woodpecker.
Okay. I have woodpeckers here. I have all kinds of birds of prey and woodpeckers and owls and this. I have a hoot owl that
you type
every 3 nights hoots at us. So
I think a more dangerous would be the crows and the ravens because they've got the beaks and they got the intelligence. They're going to go and they're going to pick out a chameleon. An owl would have a hard time.
We have a lot of birds of prey. We have falcons, hawks, golden eagles, bald eagles. We have 3 different types of owls: a little barn owl, a winged owl, and then the horned owl. We got some huge horned owls. We have turkey vultures that have they're pretty close to the size of a condor. So yeah, that makes me nervous, but I'm also home usually, and the wife's kind of home. What'd you say, James? You opened up a new gear with the praying mantis. Yeah, I found the video.
The video with the
Did you see that?
Praying mantis trying to. Now we don't know what happened. Did it actually find out that what happened, or I think the hummingbird got away, right? Or
oh no, it got munched. It got
munched.
Yeah, there's a couple pictures afterwards that were pretty graphic.
Oh yeah, those little praying mantises are pretty harsh.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Hummingbird was big. It was the same size. It was bigger.
It was bigger.
Wow.
Yeah. I was shocked too. That's why I had to post it. I was like, nobody's going to believe me if I tell them about this.
They've got praying mantises that'll take down mice.
They have murders of crows in her neighborhood. I think we do sometimes, but around here we don't have that often. 2 turtle toms. He's watched hawks land on wires in the backyard, just observing the tortoises, trying to decide if they should try to eat them, which I think would be a bad idea because the shells would be really heavy and it'd be hard to eat them.
Eliza, and I posted a video of a praying mantis hanging out on a hummingbird feeder, and it snatched the hummingbird. I'll send it to you later this evening if you want to see it. It's kind of gnarly.
Yes. All right. That's what we were talking about a minute ago. Okay. All right. I'm going to quit watching the comments and start paying attention to what we're talking about. But so everybody's here now. Everybody turned up late. I think it's because it's too hot out. They're too busy doing outside stuff. If it's nice out and it's too hot out, it's I wish it would get hotter here. It would kill off all the weeds. There's so many weeds that weed this summer. They're like,
yeah, all that creates
crazy.
is what we have here in Greater California, and that's forest fires.
Yeah.
So that's our next,
That's
other
our main
big issue
export.
with the heat.
You see, because California has mudslides, forest fires, earthquake, all these things that we have snow. It melts if we don't dig ourselves out. We just wait and it melts. That's all we have. I think we could have forest fires, but we don't. We have lots and lots of trees and weeds and everything else. We don't have forest fires. We don't have mudslides. We don't have earthquake. We had an earthquake a couple weeks ago, but no one even knew. We were told about it. So,
but you have snow, like you said. I hate snow. I just do not like being. I'm from Southern California. I don't even want to be cold for 5 minutes.
All right. So yes, Tom is saying we range from 95 to -10 or so. Maybe -20, but yes. That's all 4 seasons. It's awesome. All right. So, perfect animal for out the desert, I guess, would be a Euromastix. Why do they have them over in Europe? They don't actually live in Europe. They're where are those from?
I believe they're African.
African, like maybe I'm thinking
like West
Egypt,
Africa?
right? Or where?
I don't know. Let me see. I'll Google where do non-chameleons live.
Where do non-chameleons? Oh, Bill. So chameleon centric. Where do non-chameleons live? Yes, Nate, you've got a bunch of us here. OHIO, exactly. I said the whole thing. So
Northern Africa, the Middle East, and all the way across Southwestern Asia to Northwestern India.
Wow. So they can tolerate it cold. I don't even know how to pronounce it. What kind of euro that is, but that's cool. The one guy, what was his name? Elkhorn, which was at Chris's show a couple weeks ago, actually had a couple of Euromantrics that I showed everyone that he's into those. So he's also a breeder of chameleons. Tom's always capable of he's got like Google it in mind or something. He's got an implanted Google chip or something. I don't know. Maybe he's
got one of those eye watches.
Yes. I can't even. I have an Apple Watch, but I can't even use it. I'm wearing a Fitbit and that drives me crazy because it's not. And then I have to look at my Fitbit versus my phone, and they tell me I have 2 different numbers of steps, and I'm just like, I give up. There we go. And that's why he's the curator of living collections, Sean. All right, we'll put that on there to say because he's a knower of all things, living things. All right. Okay. So what else do we have to say about hot stuff? Oh, I have my legacy aquarium shirt on today, so we'll show this one as well. It's still not ready. I don't know when it's going to open, but they keep building away at it. I can't seem to get a good answer as to when it's going to open, but that's going to be really cool. And I got this shirt at Tinley last time I went, but all right. What shirt do you have on, James? Anything important?
RK Builders, my work shirt.
I
had to take off my safety vest just to be on the show. You told me not to come naked, so I left my other shirt on.
Okay, that's good. We appreciate that. Many of us appreciate that.
Yeah. I can't let you in on all of this.
That's right. You don't want to make us feel inadequate.
Yes. We're going to have to Tom and I are going to have to venture out to the Legacy Aquarium one of these weeks when it actually opens. We're going to have to venture. That's a great trip. But I'm going to have to take all the kids and everything else because I got a plaque on their wall. So we'll have to venture out there and do it. But that's going to be really good. All right. Any other thoughts? We've got the most people we've had on tonight right now, and we're running out of stuff to say.
Well, I want to. While we're talking about shirts, I want to give this shirt actually has a little bit of history.
Okay.
I've actually forgotten. I've forgotten who this is. I think this is Otis the chameleon. I forget. This was the chameleon that was owned by the first chameleon Instagram account, the first one to really get big. It was I even forget her name, but she was a vet tech, and she made an Instagram account for her chameleon, and it just blew up. And so she made some shirts, and this is the shirt.
So Otis?
I think it was Otis. I don't know. She has since it's no longer. I don't think it's Otis the chameleon anymore, or whatever the name was. This was a while ago, so I still have the shirts, obviously. Let me see if I can find it.
Otis the chameleon. There's only one picture. This probably is it's a baby panther. That's not it. Otis the chameleon. I think this is the one, but I don't think it's the Otis the chameleon one either.
Yeah, I'll have to look back in my memory and see if I can figure out if it truly is Otis. I don't remember.
All right.
But anyway, so that's an interesting little tidbit.
All right.
It was a Nosy Bay.
Wow. Bill's going to take his family and stay in the aquarium house when Legacy opens.
Ooh, nice.
Tom. Yes. Did I say Bill? I don't know. Because I read Bill hybridize the electric blue gay gecko in with the chameleon. Probably, yeah. But all right. That is going to be an awesome place. The Legacy. I think there's probably going to be a 10-year wait, but we'll see. Anyways. All right. We've hit 41 minutes.
All right. That's it.
So I'm going to call this a wrap because I got to work without any coworkers tomorrow. Or I have coworkers, but I don't have any co-providers. So it's going to be a crazy day. So
I got the solar guy coming for a meeting.
What?
I said I have the solar guy coming for a meeting. I mean, all this sun going to waste out here. I might as well freaking take advantage of it.
Yeah. Why not?
There you go. I have none. Send someone to me. Daylight saving.
Guys, great. Thanks for having me on, Sean.
Oh,
Bill,
it's always a pleasure to have you on, James.
Bye,
Thanks
everybody.
Again, Bill, as well. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Of course, we'll be on for a little bit longer.